never touches the edge of that paper. Whether that's gloves, doesn't matter what it is. Gloves, sutures, anything that's peel back, that's one thing you have to watch for. Perfect world, you pop this thing onto your sterile field and you never cross your sterile field. That takes a bit of talent. It's not easy to do, but you're gonna see that in the textbooks. You pop it on the sterile field from some distance, you project it onto the sterile field.
Right, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, right? That's
I
what it
know,
says to do.
that's what it says.
It says to do that, and that is the ideal. It is better. You're going to drop things, okay? Don't get freaked out about that. Even people that have been doing this for a long time, when they're opening, they drop stuff. Sometimes it's expensive, and it hurts your feelings, but it happens. If you drop it, you drop it. Happens every day.
We'll show you tricks and things like that too,
Right.
We want you to kind of try it on your own.
So when I open this, I'm peeling this back some. Now it's on my sterile field. This is now trash. And you're gonna be doing that a lot. Grab something, open, trash, grab it, open, trash. That's why you want your trash can to be handy.
Sutures, right? The same difference. Again, we want you checking for expiration date, right? These
That-
things all have expiration date.
Especially suture. Suture does change, it gets old, it loses its tensile strength over time. You definitely wanna check for expiration dates on suture.
I'm assuming you'll have, if it's a big case, like you said, you'll have several back tables?
You may have a couple, or they actually do make a tiered back table, believe it or not.
It depends, it depends. Like if it's like that, what Mr. Williams said, that if it's an orthopedic case, usually you have a longer back table,
Okay.
plus extra. So you have a lot of those. And again, you wouldn't be putting by yourself, you have some, your circulator will come. So anything you open, you would always check for expiration date and integrity. Even if you just pretend that you're checking it for us, just we wanna know that you are, so just verbalize it, things like that. And, again, for our skills check-off, just as long as you verbalize it, that we know that you know what to do, we're good with that. Right? Just as long as you know what to do. Okay. So,
You open up whatever peel back side you need, again, it can be a lot. One thing I will notice, a couple things about opening. One thing I don't have here is a knife blade, a scalpel blade.
do you want one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one, because it's a significant thing there. One thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna hide that. Okay, if you hide that from yourself, you cover it up with other things, later on, you're trying to manipulate that stuff, and maybe that scalpel blade was underneath something, you reach, you grab, and now you cut yourself because the scalpel blade was there. When you're opening sharp items, you put them on the corner of your table, and you don't cover it with anything. You make sure that it's visible. There's a bunch of different kinds of scalpel blades, we'll get into that later, it's not really relevant now, but this is generally how they come. Sometimes this whole thing will be in a pack and the entire thing is sterile, but often you have to open them, and it's peel back also. Right? In a perfect world, somebody can open this and you can take it out of there, take it once you're sterile, but that's often not the case. So I'm going to open that. Let me show you where it is before I go over there. See a little bit of the blade. It's not much there, is it? It's very small. And I'm going to open that carefully on the corner, and I'm going to get it away.
And if I'm a circulator, and like, let's say, my scrub is scrubbing, I would absolutely say, hey, Jeremy, I have a blade that I opened right in the corner of your table, so just watch out. Because, sometimes they start throwing things and the blade is underneath and you can't see it, so, safety first, right?
No, communication's important.
Just how do you make things neat? I mean, you guys.
Oh.
Well, when you're
Okay.
opening it, it's not that neat.
Like you get through everything on the table. you
Yeah,
raise
once,
it.
after you're scrubbed and you got your gown and gloves on, then you can come and manipulate all this, and that's your job, is to make it neat and orderly. We'll talk about
So-
that later.
If you're, most of the time, your circulator that, most of the time they pair you up with the circulator that you always work with. So sometimes, there are some circulators that like what how you, like an area, they know the area that you want things. So most of the time, when they're throwing things, they might throw it just on your basin set over there, so your back table is cleared, so you can just kind of set up that way. Or sometimes they will, you see this area here, this is also sterile, so sometimes they will throw little things on there too. So whenever, it's just really your job. And again, we're jumping ahead where You know, for right now, we
I
just
wanna-
want you to create a sterile field, and then we're gonna teach you.
I do
how
wanna
to-
caution you about opening
do all
things
that.
here, and we're gonna get ahead, but I want to go ahead and explain why that is.